Hello, horror fans. It's me, Cass,
Kylee.
and we also have on our special monthly guest, Brewster.
Brewster.
Hi,
Brewster's
ladies.
back. So he did it. He didn't
Brewster.
desert us, guys. He did it. So, in
Things just
fact,
got busy. We had to clear out the calendar for 2025.
we had some things we had to do. In fact, Brewster and I actually spent Christmas together.
We
had a
did.
very
Precious.
divorced dad's Christmas, and it was precious. So we were at Dave and Buster. We were drinking while the kids just went off and did. Rick and I both were like, our kids are here somewhere. It'll be fine.
Well, I think most of
It's
that time
fine.
was spent with waiting for the waitress to bring us our checks.
Oh God, that was Rick. I feel like Rick had to stand behind me just to make sure she gave me my change.
Mhm.
Like Rick was like eyeballing her, like, can
Give
you
her
please?
change.
Like we're
Give her
trying
the
to get
change
to the
right
parking
now.
lot. Yeah,
We gotta
I
go.
mean, I get it. It's Christmas. It was, but Dave and Buster, we might need to up who's there during Christmas. Just a friendly suggestion. So
I don't think Tiki had a bill that night. Didn't he get free shit or something?
No, I think we all got comped some. I don't know. It was all over the place. So, I mean, I guess what do you expect for a Dave and Buster's? But today we're taking it back to the Gothic Ghoul forest, and we're doing Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
Kylee saved Brewster from doing another episode that I had in mind. That might not have been the greatest thing because we do need somebody to mediate us for that episode, but we have decided on rules of engagement.
Sadly,
Yeah, we remember we had this talk today about
I don't remember. I don't even remember like 2 hours ago, so it didn't happen.
I mean, your child was also trying to smack you in the face when we were having this conversation, so I might have had to. Next time, I'll write it down after it, like reminder. This is what we talked about.
He literally is like Jack from The Incredibles, like incarnate.
He is. It is.
Yeah.
He tried to cold cock her earlier, and her and I both are looking at each other on the phone like, "You are fried, friend. You are fried."
He was in his walker, like opening the freaking dryer, and I'm like, "You're gonna break my dryer door. Stop it." I need like to get some like baby proof type. You know what, Dakota? I need you to get on this.
Reminder: we have it on camera. So
yes.
But tonight we are talking about Sleepy Hollow. I am super excited. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge nerd, obviously, but this is one that I reference all the time on being kind of a gateway movie for me. I had the Tree of Death on my notebook. I probably looked very serial killer-ish. It's all right. It turned out well. We're okay. So, but
bro, listen, we would have been best friends if we were in school, and I saw that.
Yeah. Speaking of school, though, really quickly before we get into this, it's just kind of like weird timing that we're talking about this, and this is coming up. But I do want to dedicate this episode to my high school teacher, Carolyn Smith. She just passed away on the 10th, and I just found out about it. But she was an incredible teacher in high school that preached not making fun of people because of what they have going on or because of what they like. And there were a lot of times that I got made fun of because I looked like a gypsy wearing, all kinds of crazy things, carrying a notebook with weird images and a vampire encyclopedia. So thank you for always loving every student, regardless of who they were. And this episode goes out to you, but I'm excited to talk about this. This is a debatable movie because this and Sweeney Todd are debated as Tim Burton's most bloodiest movies. I think this slightly edges out Sweeney Todd for one particular reason, and I will bring that up here in a little bit. That I kind of had a lot of respect for Tim Burton talking about, because I feel the same way. But I'm super excited to get into it. So grab your sword, draw your curtains, keep your witchy friends near you, and let's take this to the Wicked Forest. Let's go ahead and cue the music. And we are back. So I was really quickly, while the music was playing, I was trying to find it. If I find it, because I'm currently going through some things here in the podcast room. I actually have a Sleepy Hollow bag. So we'll talk about some of the merchandise, because Kylee and I were actually just talking about this earlier today. We were both on the same wavelength. So if one of these show up, don't be alarmed. We just,
if you see us with swords, I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
Not sorry.
We're just living out our, goth girl fantasy. Just let us breathe for a minute. So continuing on with our questions from last week, I am going to hit us with a couple of questions that I think will be just kind of nice little icebreakers.
Squirrel. Just so you know, the Sleepy Hollow Horseman sword is $30. Trick or Treat Studios.
So you're saying for $30, I could be running around.
For $30.
Is this a life size? Is this the actual or is it like a pet, like a paperweight opener type situation? I want the actual one so I could be running around being a menace to people.
It's
she don't need a sword for that.
I mean the sword matches the robe. Then all I have to do is get like a dress to coordinate with the robe, and then I could just be full terror.
I think you'd be ready for Goth Night or Goth Prom come May.
I probably should participate in Goth Prom. I probably should.
You both should come out. It'd be fun.
Kylie's not leaving her house for that. She loves you, Brewster, but
as much as I'd love to, that is a journey I don't think I could take. The only way I will journey up there is to see the band Unhinged while unhealthy. Or to come my next excursion is going to the Waldorf Estate.
Yep.
And that's like 8 hours away. But yeah, it's going to happen.
So these are just some quick fire questions that I have that kind of go into what we were talking about last week. So this is just off the top of your head. Remember, we're talking Gothic Ghoul Winter. Do you prefer coffins or castles?
Is this for both of us?
Yep.
I'm going with castle.
Coffin, even though I don't like small spaces, but people will leave me alone.
I want the one from Dracula Love Tale that fits both people in there. I feel like that would be big enough for me.
What if they snore? I mean, would you really want to share that for all eternity?
I'm saying I don't. I'll just.
You come out sometimes.
Yeah, you come out some. I will say though, castles are probably inching more because I mean, if you're gonna haunt me I'm gonna have to go through some shit. At least throw some real estate my way, especially with that whole.
Hold on, that is a open-ended Request that I don't think you should be putting out into the universe.
I'm just saying, like Edith, last week from Crimson's Peak, she went through all of that, but at least at the end of it, like she, her and Thomas were technically, they weren't legally married, but technically, like she could make a case for owning that piece of property and at least like get something out of it. You know what I mean? Like she could do something with it. So I'm thinking, girl, you got terrified. You almost got murdered. But in theory, you at least walk away with the castle. That's where my mind's going. Not that you want to go through all of those things. I'm just saying it's a good incentive afterwards where you could be like, well, fuck, at least I walked away with the castle.
I don't know, the property tax, the HOA fees, I mean, they could be through the roof.
I mean, I'm saying she could sell it and then get her own castle,
Well,
a smaller castle.
I don't think there's an HOA where this castle is.
Yeah, not Crimson Peak. Yeah, nope.
Bro, I couldn't imagine living in like a housing place that has a HOA. No.
I really have time to clean my 2-bedroom condo, let alone a fucking castle.
Does the castle come with a maid or a butler? Because if so, I want the butler from Batman.
Yes, which relates to this, but
yes.
Do we prefer
which Batman?
I mean, we have to go with Alfred from Batman Forever and
Batman Returns.
Okay, so that guy.
Yeah, because he's the notary in here. Like we have to.
He's the notary in Sleepy Hollow, actually.
Yep, he is. So, candles or candelabras?
What's a candelabra?
What was in her hand?
Oh, I want that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go because candles by themselves, they're a fire hazard. Yes, they smell great, but you still get the same thing like with a wax melt. Candelabras, at least they're they got their own holder. They're dripping down. It's not like a big
I get bored and I would just use it as a fidget spinner. You just kind of spin it around.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Vampires or ghosts?
Vampires
all the way.
Vampires, yeah.
Vampires, yeah.
Do you prefer the movies that portray Gothic decay, like how we just watched Crimson Peak, and Crimson Peak is falling apart, and there's beauty and elegance in that? Or do you choose the Dracula's castle, like once he actually gets the girl and then transforms it into like the big, beautiful, like Beauty and the Beast type castle? Like that looks beautiful once they fix it up.
My OCD's got to go with the Dracula one.
Yeah. I don't like the decayed. Like it depends. If there's like a West Wing situation where it's just like a contained one area and it's because that man has clearly like lost his marbles and torn shit apart. Okay. Understandable. But like the whole thing falling apart, like the moment I would have stepped in Crimson Peak and like stepped in that house and found out it was sinking, I'd be like, nope. Going to a hotel, like don't need to be dealing with this stuff. Like your sister's already crazy. There's too many red flags here. Too many things. So Kylie, what about you?
I would say like decaying. But then again, like, because my thought is, like, maybe it'll wear off people from trying to come, but, like, people will probably think it's abandoned and try and come up in there and do shit, and then they see me, and I gotta stand my ground with weapons. So...
like a $30 sword?
Yep. We're gonna find out if that sword is full length or not.
I'm bringing the AR.
Yeah.
Could you imagine me coming down the steps of a castle?
Like,
get off my property.
I could see you doing that. That is the horrifying part. Like, your husband is that guy that I keep sending you the videos of. The one today that I sent you of Dale Earnhardt racing dead. no shade to Dakota, but like he would. The Dracula one is him definitely. Like
we are not hillbilly people, but there is something that has happened in the past 7 years that we have lived in Southern Ohio, and I don't. Kate fucking, I had like these camo shoes on that I got from like Timo. They're real comfy. They look like Hey Dudes. And Kate walks up to me at Raiden's birthday party like, what the fuck is on your feet?
Kate
like,
is
I
her
know.
sister.
I don't know what happened.
Last question. What gothic horror trope always works on you, no matter how many times you've seen it? Think secret passageways, forbidden rooms, ominous journals, tragic backstory, lost love, Dracula, like the whole Dracula idea of like reincarnation, ghost story. What is a trope that you will? We already know Cass's answer for this. If it's
You don't
a
need to
vampire,
answer it.
yeah, if it's a vampire anything, or if it's I've waited for you for 400 years, I'm down. Down. So sign me up.
I'd have to go with the Dracula thing that I've waited for you for 400 years kind of thing.
Yeah, there's just like no matter how many times you watch it, there is something different every time you see it. There are different ways. You could go funny with it. You could go tragic with it. You could go kind of in the middle. So, what about you, Kylee?
I I really like with Sleepy Hollow, like just the haunted forest and the misunderstood character that like you get to see the realness of the person, and of course like there's a love interest, but I also like a good just like underdog almost, or like revenge.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And that actually is a good point to bring up because somebody did bring this up from last week's episode. We made a clip about being Team Allen versus Team Thomas. And somebody pointed out something about Thomas. Listen, our opinions about Thomas from the last episode are our own. But I just want to point something very glaringly out. In that episode, if you would listen to the whole thing, you understand that I do say I get why Guillermo del Toro makes him the character that he does. He puts everything in. But in retrospect, it doesn't evade any of his character. I'm not saying that that's not a character device that's tragic, but I'm saying this in relation to this movie because you have a very similar structure where you have two characters in this movie.
Well, you're at face value, you're not going to see Thomas as a sympathetic character. Like, nobody would even know that Guillermo del Toro wrote him as that unless Guillermo del Toro didn't come out and say that he wrote him in that way, but he is an unsympathetic character. Like, at face value, you're not going to see or think that.
Yeah, it's just, I understand that he was kind of like molded as this character because of his love for his sister and the incest and everything comes to it. But retrospectively, you look at this movie, you have two very different characters, Ichabod and you have Lady Mary. Lady Mary's family goes through a tragic amount of things. And for all intents and purposes, and this is something that was even in the director's notes, it snaps the last bit of her humanity. It gives her reason to just go ape shit and do what she does. And she has no sympathy about doing any of this because they all had it coming. Retrospectively, you have Ichabod, who has so much trauma, he doesn't remember it, especially religious psychosis, because we see his dad in the beginning. His dad is not a great person. And we find out what kind of is hiding behind that. Ichabod never uses that as an excuse to be a bad person. And in reality, Ichabod in the book is written as a horrible character. Yeah. Like he is not a nice guy. He's a gold digger for all intents and purposes. Like with him being a teacher, he wants to be with Katrina because of her money. This was done a very different way. So I understand that sometimes tragic characters are written a certain way. But from my perspective, you're never going to make me like somebody who very clearly throughout this was the reason why this person was put in this situation, even if they get put out of it because of them and they die trying to help this person. That's the bare minimum in my eyes that you could do when you're the one that put them in that situation first in the first place and put them in harm's way. Yes, you did things to help out, but so did Alan. Like, it just depends on your lens of looking at things. That's the beauty behind these kind of movies. You could see it one way or another. That's the beauty about Gothic horror in general. You could see, it's the Batman principle. You either live long enough to see yourself be the villain, or you die trying to do the good thing. So in retrospect, I just have to break, but like Ichabod in this movie would never. Ichabod has a lot of things. He's a lot of things, but I mean, like, he does come back for Katrina. They do save each other, so let's give them that. But we're talking about Sleepy Hollow, people. So if you've not watched it,
what are you doing?
Please go watch it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She
I don't like when people do that to me about certain movies. But no.
I'm going to message you that every time you haven't seen something or you get one of my hints wrong. I'm just be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this would be a good time to talk about Kylee getting a brain. And how does Kylee get a brain? Well, let me tell you. This is a quick plug. But as always, Horrorcraft is sponsored by Bones Coffee. Horrorcraft is a proud affiliate of this. This is delicious coffee. But this is the only thing I've seen Kylee drink besides Alani. That is a feat. I just want to say right now. So it has to be good when Kylee deviates from her normal routine. But we both are loving this cookies and cream latte flavor right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty special. Another one, I made a really good holy cannoli wedding cake protein foam latte the other day with the holy cannoli coffee, and it was delicious. If you're interested in knowing that recipe, let me know. But please use the code Horrorcraft or the description and the link down below. Let us know. But you'd be ready to, fight crime, figure out a mystery, solve the Headless Horseman, debacle with some Bones Coffee. So go cop it and let us know what flavor you get. That was a squirrel moment, but you're welcome. Bones Coffee.
The lady from Beauty and the Beast, I need 6 eggs. That's me before one of these or an Alani.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I get my drink now? Because I didn't want to, mess up your plug there. All right.
Yes. You can get your drink. It's okay. We're all drinking something different. Kylie's got her Bones Coffee, but I know she's got an Alani by her. I've got my Coke Zero.
I do. I have the new cherry bomb. It's delicious. I love it. Alani,
and if you,
I love you.
I will tell you, if you mix this with Coke and some sugar-free cherry syrup on some ice, you got a whole refreshing beverage. I had that yesterday. It might have been the only thing that kept me alive during Braden's basketball game.
I also have a Sprite Chill. It's cherry lime. I don't love cherry things or nothing,
That's Kylee and I both love cherry things.
I do. I love cherry things.
But back to this. So Sleepy Hollow. It's on AMC Plus. That's as of this moment, January 13th. Could change at any point in time. But it basically takes the age-old story that we all know about Ichabod Crane and him meeting the Headless Horseman and kind of giving it a filter that only Tim Burton would. And this was done in a very stylistic way. Tim Burton said that this is the closest he would ever get to making a combination of a Mario Bava film and a Hammer film, and mixing both of those together. I could see that so very clearly, just very many stylistic choices. But our main protagonist is Ichabod Crane. He is dealing with his own trauma and is advocating for science. And because of that, his own father, who is the judge in New York, sends him up to Sleepy Hollow because there have been a series of murders and he is supposed to deduce them. And we meet our myriad of characters, all of which are played by incredible actors.
The stat cast. Also, we also need to say Jeffrey Jones is in this movie, and this is before he was accused and charged for being a pedo, pretty much.
Cuties fan.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they had known things, he would not have been in this movie.
Yes, that's why he's also noticeably missing from
Beetlejuice 2.
Beetlejuice 2 is they used the method that they did because they wanted to continue on the story, but they didn't want to give him the clout, I guess, of being in it. So, but yes, this is way before that. This is also before a lot of the passing of some of these different people. Mm-hmm. So most notably, we just talked about Alfred. The actor who plays Alfred was also most notably in Mario Bava's different films. And he came out of retirement just to do Notary Holbrook's role. And he died a couple years after. So loved him as Alfred growing up. Yep. Thank you for making a notary look cool. Because, like, I'm a notary. So, like, thanks. You know, you made me feel special. Although I'm a little concerned that, like, I mean, women could be notaries back then, but I'm a little concerned that I would have been on the chopping block for just doing my job. So
you Jezebel.
You know, I'm a wild woman. But anyways, we get
burn her at the stake right now.
You know, bring it on. I like the flames. It's all right. Which is so funny that we're bringing that up because this kind of is the crux of this story. It is. It's kind of like Katrina. So spoiler alert, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this, but Katrina for a lot of this movie gets blamed for witchcraft when Katrina is literally just being like Ichabod's mom and protecting him.
You mean not Katrina?
No, Katrina is a witch. Mom.
Yeah, but that's not his mom.
I know. I said like his mom.
Oh, my bad,
yes,
bro.
Like his mom. We're gonna put the phonics up here. But like his mom, she protects him, and she kind of gets thrown under the bus because of it. He's like, I hope that, you were possessed by evil. I hope your soul is at peace now. And it wasn't even her. It was her fuck ass stepmom. Like,
they made her character a witch in that Sleepy Hollow TV series too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you ladies saw that. It was like 4 seasons.
Yep. I had a crush on that.
I have it.
Yeah, it was good. I had a crush on the Headless Horseman from that. So, because he's also
something so fucking wrong with you.
Well, because they made him hot.
Hold on.
They made him hot in the show, and he also is the same guy that is in the Blade TV series. So he was hot.
I only have the first 2 episodes of that. Was he in that?
He's Martin Van Schreiber. He's the bad, what you perceive as the bad guy.
Yeah.
In the show, he's kind of
he's okay.
It's the wig. Out of the wig, he's very attractive. He does have this movie that's really fucked up though, and it is a true story. But it's I'll have to put the title down below. Basically, him and his wife get divorced, and the wife, he had done horrible things to her. Anyway, she's renovating the whole house. She keeps hearing things, and come to find out, he was living in the house the whole time, without her knowledge. And it's a fucked up movie.
Sounds like Stranger in the House with Gary Busey.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Could you imagine Gary Busey in your fucking attic?
I could not. Like,
No, get the fuck out
I could
right
not.
now.
I want to say though, there is a woman. I'm gonna put her handle down below. She does do these skits where she takes characters from horror movies, and she has one that's a continuing one where they're all living in a house. So like Freddy and Jason and all of them. And she just did this episode where Jennifer Check and Carrie White are getting married, and which I mean makes sense. Really, it makes sense. Anyways, Freddy's the coordinator, and it was so funny. But it also reminded me because she does Louis and Lestat ones, and they have like baby Claudia coming up and one to Lestat going, where's my mom? And he's like, well, I'm your mom. And Louis's like, why the fuck are you telling her that? They're gonna have like homosexuality is a crime nowadays. Like you can't tell her that. And he's like, did you want to explain to her why her mom isn't here anymore?
I gotta check this out.
Yeah, it's hilarious, but it did make me think, like, the Headless Horseman is a bad person in this movie, okay? Well, I want to get
We're talking about Christopher Walken, Headless Horseman.
Yes.
I love him. He's a great actor, but there's nothing attractive about this man in this movie.
No, he's not attractive. But my question about that is, in this movie, it does make you think, who's the bigger villain? Is it the Headless Horseman that does all the bidding and has gotten himself in this position, or is it Lady Mary?
Well, so the Headless Horseman, he was a bad guy before he died, right?
Yeah. So
whether he did under control somebody else doesn't matter. He was evil prior to that.
I mean, he was evil prior to that, but I just wonder, like, who do you feel like is the bigger evil? The person that is evil, but also uses people in inherently evil ways? Because the way that I look at it is at least the Hessian, in certain regards, like, he was a mercenary.
Yeah.
He did that all for money. He at least, like,
well, he was dead in the ground, resting in peace, rotten in hell, and she summoned him. So,
and not only that, we have to remember she's the one that snaps the branch that tells him where she's at. Like, knowing,
I'm gonna go with her then.
Yeah, knowing and planning in her brain that once he dies, I watch him die. I'm gonna make a deal, and I'm gonna use him in this manner.
That's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
When you think of fuck ass little kids, that's exactly like
that would be if I ever had a daughter.
Oh yeah. So that actually brings me to a certain point, though. Tim Burton in this movie specifically states that the reason that kids are not safe in this movie is because of the fact that he's always hated that there are a separate set of rules for kids in horror movies.
I saw that.
Than there is with adults. And while I do think that's we would consider that a little bit extreme, there is kind of a real beauty behind that idea, because, like, this is horror.
I like, no offense, but when it comes to horror movies, I'm all for, like, kids getting taken out the game. That's really messed up.
Well, because life.
It's life. Like, these horrific things happen to kids every day. And, like, while it will make people very uncomfortable and just not feel right, but, like, it literally is happening every single day in life. Like, and that's just what it is. Horror is about, it's subjective, and it's about a lot of the real life things that happen. I don't think kids should be safe. Now, do I want to see certain kind of kill scenes with kids? Absolutely not. That borders, like, Serbian, just nasty. Like, we don't need that. But, like, I know a lot of people were not happy in the Halloween 2018 of the kid dying or whatever. I'm like, hell yeah, like we're doing some different things. But they were also mad about Michael killing a bunch of first responders and firefighters. Like, what do you mean? He fucking kills everybody.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What do you want?
Yeah,
But like,
They want to complain is what they want to do.
yeah,
I just
I know a
feel
lot of
like-
people were not happy as well. Like in Terrifier 3, of the kids dying in the beginning of the movie, you didn't see anything. Now I know how those movies can be. Seeing something like that, I would have not really kind of been okay with. But I'm also not a huge fan of the third movie. I like the second one better, hence my shirt. But like it happens, and I think there's a way of doing it where it is not distasteful.
Yeah, so one of this version of Sleepy Hollow was meant to be a lot bloodier, and they went back and they revised certain scenes, and there was really a fight between Tim Burton and the studios because the studios felt like the deaths of both the widow being pregnant and the child dying with her, and then the kid getting murdered with his family should have been taken out. They did reformulate.
But it happens. Literally 6 years later after this movie came out was the whole when Lacey Peterson was murdered by her husband Scott. She was pregnant. Like, this stuff happens in real life, and it happened probably a whole lot more back in the time era of Sleepy Hollow than even now. I mean, maybe probably about the same, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just, so one of the compromises is there was a scene where, you know how you see the husband's head when he's walking into the wife. There was a scene where afterwards all of their heads were getting put in a bag, and you saw like the head of the child. They took that out because it like the NC-17. But I feel like certain things, like, it's gonna happen. Like I just,
well, I feel like something like that, and now, like, say this movie were made now, it would be more acceptable to leave or put in rather than back in like this came out in 98, something like that.
Yeah, like most notably,
was it 99?
99, yeah.
And it most notably, like, the one that most recently in the last couple of years that kind of took me by surprise for a minute, but I loved it. Last Voyage of the Demeter has a scene where there is a child on board, and there's a very gnarly scene where he gets turned and then that turns on other people, and it is very unexpected. But I think it was great because, like, how are you going to sit there and say that they were on the ship with this killer thing and the child was going to be exempt?
Well, do you know how many kids would die on these long ship voyages from various different kinds of things? I mean, people died left and right for a lot of things that they don't so much now. Like, women died of childbirth all the fucking time.
So I feel like they don't have to show the gore aspect of it, but they shouldn't be exempt.
I feel
either,
like,
you know.
Yeah, I feel like they don't need to be exempt. I feel like there are certain things where you don't have to show that they're getting like taken out, fully taken out or something. But to sit there and say that, oh, they're like not getting taken out because of this, like, it kind of invalidates some of it. Like,
I think it takes away the faith and depth, or like brazen, I don't know what I'm trying to think of like the villain.
It takes away like the quality, because I know, like, for me, when I saw that in The Last Voyage of the Demeter, I was already kind of like, whoa, this is taking it there. And then when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's really going there. All right, well, I have respect for that, because like or it's like people being upset about the Dracula scene where Dracula offers, the baby to his wives and stuff like that. Listen, you don't see any of that. It's just implied, but like, you're talking about somebody that in the first half of the movie, you're supposed to hate him. Second half of the movie, he's supposed to be, and it's because you're trying to reconcile the two halves. obviously he do horrible things. So like, and we're talking about vampires. Like, you think that they're not coming for children either. Like, look at Claudia in the
I mean,
vampire.
is it legal in the law of vampirism? No,
Probably not.
we know that. We know that by now. We know that. Okay, but like, it's just, I don't know. There's a way of doing it, but like, I don't think kids should be exempt unless there's something within the story or plot that the kid's going to be like the final little girl, little boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if it's like a Psycho Gorman where the kids control, yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, where the kids control Psycho Gorman.
Absolutely.
Unless it's something like that, or like, the Gate where the kids are the ones, or like Monster Squad, the kids are the ones that are kind of saving everything.
Like the Losers Club.
Yes, I mean,
Losers Club.
And we know from this season of Welcome to Derry, none of those kids were off limits.
Oh, no spoilers! I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh!
I don't have HBO Max. I gotta wait to get to a friend of mine's house.
It's really good.
You're gonna enjoy it, but I will tell you, just go in expecting nothing.
Yeah,
I tried to. That's why I haven't watched any. I watched like the first trailer, but I haven't watched any of the other ones.
Yeah, but I do like this. I do also think that like people are like, oh, this is Tim Burton. Like, I do think like, okay, yes, Tim Burton has a certain style, but this obviously is very like bigly an homage to like Universal Monsters, Hammer Horror, and like Giallo films, and mixing that in probably like the best way possible.
I don't understand why people give Tim Burton such a hard time. I really don't. Like, he's done so many different movies and just things that a lot of people don't even know that like he did. And I think I love every single thing he's ever done. And I always will.
Does he obviously have a more leaning to darker elements of things? Yes. But he also has shown different sides of himself. So like, I do want to say, I think this is bloodier if we're talking about the argument between this and Sweeney Todd, and we are going to have Sweeney Todd coming out later this month as well, doing an episode about. I do think this is bloodier because Sweeney Todd does hold off on the children because of his daughter, but I also think like Sweeney Todd is with a purpose. Like, everybody's going into a meat pie. The Headless Horseman is going to get you, whether you're in the way or not. Look at Brom. Like, I mean, all of them could I mean, he's an effective killing machine for a reason. I do say that I think this is bloodier. I do think both of them are equally great, though. So
absolutely, yeah.
I've only seen Sweeney Todd once, so I can't really recall too much about it. It was over, what are we in, 26 now? 4 years ago, I think, at least.
Sweeney Todd, I think a lot of people, like, they give it a hard time because it's a musical, but, like, it was already a musical.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's certain musicals even I can tolerate. That one wasn't too bad. I do remember that much.
Yeah, I mean, you could be like our episode coming up where I didn't prepare Kylee for it to be 95% music and 5% talking. To be fair, though, we talked about it, and then Kylee went straight into it while I was unavailable at the time. And
she went straight into song and dance?
No, she went straight into wanting to poke her eyeballs out. But she's
I do not have time to consult you. Every time I got to do something to watch something or anything like that, because like I had time to be watching movies and that's what I did. For one, for two, I think you should just be reading my mind by now. And I don't know what to tell you.
I am, but I just didn't listen.
You are pretty good at it because I'll be thinking about something and literally like 20 minutes later, you'll call me about that thing. So I think we do finally have like some telepathy, best friend. You know what I mean?
this is the first like musical other than Sweetie Todd that I've thrown, and I probably should have been like, hey, just so you're aware, this is very, very theatrical. Not that you have a problem, but I should have just prepped you.
I probably would have told you to get Brewster on, and I'm going to sit this one out.
I mean, Cass, it's been a minute since we had a solo. What was it? Dr. Giggles, I think. Kylee couldn't make that one.
Yes, it was Dr. Giggles. Yeah, it's okay. There are other episodes that I could save Kylee the torture from.
I got you, Kylee. Don't worry about it.
Like what?
I do think Brewster's going to have to come. I've been thinking about revising different episodes. I do think one movie that you haven't gone through that I think Brewster also likes this movie, but I feel like you're going to have to watch. We're going to have to do an episode about revisiting it is Dolls. So.
Oh God.
That movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I think I'm due for a rewatch of that.
So, but there are some like full moon ones that I would.
You got to call me for full moon.
Yeah. I know that's Brewster's jam. So like, Brewster's on speed dial for that. It's okay,
dude. I'll get all my toys and everything and set them all up here. It'll be great.
Brewster's that kid in the sandbox. He really is. So, a big thing that's brought up in this movie too. Ichabod Crane was supposed to be like highly just unattractive. He's not supposed to look like Johnny Depp. He's supposed to be very outwardly nerdy, and they had kind of tossed back and forth about putting him in prosthetics. He had offered to do that, but Tim Burton ultimately thought, hey.
So glad they didn't do that.
I think their reasoning ended up being really good, but I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. But Tim Burton's reasoning for it was that he felt like his inward attributes, like the clumsiness, the squeamishness, the very nerdy parts, would be more highlighted if they didn't make him outwardly like a reflection of that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think it would have. You would not have easily liked Ichabod Crane, which is sad to say because I feel like people would have been just like judging him because he doesn't, look great on the outside, and on the inside he's just really, you know what I mean. And I think Johnny Depp is really good at playing awkward, nervous, squeamish. He did so well in Edward. He does it in a way where he's not just that pretty boy face, which I don't think always a lot of like pretty men actors can always do.
The only actor that I've seen kind of pull back more recently, other than Michael B. Jordan, because I'm going to just say it right here. The fact that Timothée Chalamet is outwinning him in awards is an atrocity. I'm sorry, Timothée Chalamet, you might be a good actor.
He only won that because he's dating a Kardashian. He drank.
I didn't say that.
Listen, I still don't know who the Kardashians are.
Listen, he did the ritual. He drank the adrenochrome. I'm going all the way there.
We're going with him, then, aren't you?
I just have to say, like, it's just kind of an atrocity, and I would say this if there was also a Caucasian actor that had done two, but this man did two separate roles, which, by the way, the funniest thing I saw about the Golden Globes was the fact that Haley Steinfeld and I'm gonna butcher
yes,
they're both pregnant, and they were like congratulations to Smoke and Stack on the top of it.
Well, hey, Michael Keaton did 4 of them in Multiplicity.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he did. So I like that they did it. They let his kind of awkwardness show in ways. I also like too that between him and Katrina, they are equally matched in the fact that they both kind of save each other elements. Katrina is kind of has like the wrappings of a final girl, but without really being a final girl, because the whole time she's just kind of bossing the fuck up. Like,
yeah.
she is not really a final girl in the sense of like she is the last, but they both are kind of the last one standing. So
yeah.
I do like some of the choices that they've made with this. What is your favorite scene in this movie?
I think when he first sees the Headless Horseman, and then it's the next morning, and they go into his room to check on him, and he's flipping the fuck out. It's like, it's a horseman. It's a headless horseman. He doesn't have a head, and he is just gagged. And they're like, yeah, we tried to tell you. It's a headless horseman. And then he just like faints.
I'd say that when you find out the Headless Horseman's backstory and the whole Christopher Walken thing, I mean, it's just so brutal and savage.
Yeah, his teeth.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Christopher Walken. I mean, who doesn't? So just seeing him do that, like doing a role that he wasn't going to have a lot of recognition for, you know, it's like, you know, he wasn't going to see a space war, but he still took it on. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes is when they first find the tree and Ichabod has to like hack it and the blood just keeps coming at him. And then the faces finally come forward. But then also too, like when the horseman actually comes out of that, like when the vines come on the sword and then he like pops out of that hole. I think that is such a cool thing. I do think there is some part of my twisted brain that when like they give the head back to the Hessian, that he takes Lady Mary and like kisses her, and his teeth like rip her
deep
mouth open. And then he like she's just like and it's like bitch, what did you expect? You sold your soul to the devil.
You reap what you sow, ho. You reap what you sow.
You are now the Hessian's bride. Yeah, I was like,
on-screen metaphor for consequences of your actions, for sure.
Fuck around and find out.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a off-camera topic there, but yeah, that's.
So some really quick facts before we dip out of this. This was actually 95% of this was done on a sound stage, on like sets that were actually built. This was done. If I'm not correct, I think it's Berkshire, but it's like right by the Queen's like royal grounds. And so they would actually like see the Queen's like royal brigade and stuff go past. But the scene with the spider got improvised because by the end of the shoot, there were so many living things on that actual set that the spider was just there. So they automatically were just like, well, we're gonna throw him in. Which is great. I mean, horrible for me, but great. Johnny Depp did all of his stunts for the final scene where he's being dragged by the horse. They had to have bulletproof clothing under his wardrobe for him to be able to do this. Initially, Johnny Depp did not like the idea of Christina Ricci being his love interest because he had previously done films with her on the set of Mermaids in 1990, where she was only 9 years old. He was dating Winona Ryder at that point in time. Winona Ryder was initially considered for the role of Katrina. She turned it down.
I would too.
I mean, you know, there is a world that I want to see like Winona Ryder doing this, but like I feel like it was also so close after Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula that like I don't know. I feel like that probably would have been the best.
They were not together anymore, and I don't know. I feel like that'd be awkward working. I don't know.
Plus, is there many of your exes that you did want to work with? Because I sure know I don't.
I could not.
My exes before, so
I'm friends with one ex.
Same.
I only talk to one ex, and that's because we have a child together.
I don't even talk to mine that I have a child with. That's an achievement.
No, me and her, we realized 15, 20 years later that we were just better off as friends or whatnot. And there was a lot of underlying issues at the time. I met her husband and her kids and stuff, and it's just like we're more just brother and sister than anything like that. It's like we never even dated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like in general, though, I am not one of those people that could have like exes. Exes. This is a Medea quote, but exes are like kidnappers. You don't want your kidnapper sending you a Christmas card after you got stolen. You don't want somebody who took your life hostage for a period of time to write you a Christmas card. So, or to communicate with you. So I'd rather just, that's a previous chapter.
There's no ex that I would want to like be friends with, nor would my husband be okay with that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing if you don't have kids together and shit, you know?
Yeah, the only one that I am cool with is Dustin, Zane's biological dad, and we have a pretty good like co-parenting relationship. I would definitely say we are honestly like more like a brother and sister type deal.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes I'm just like, how did I ever have a kid with you?
Well, our thing was when we split up, we were in our early 20s, both still living at home because, early 20s. When we split up, I got my first apartment. She graduated from college. So it wasn't just like, any other time. Even now you break up, you just kind of, you heal and you move on. We broke up and then our lives changed because we both entered the adult world. So like our childhood, so to speak, kind of died when we split up.
Yeah.
And all the stuff we'd been through since then, when we finally reconnected, it was just like, we had a lot of trauma in the years prior and just missed that younger part, And again, I met her husband. I've hung out with him. I talked to him and stuff. And that's all,
I think that's great. I think it's when you can be like that. That's great. Cause I feel like that the only person that I'm really like friendly with is the person that I dated in high school. And we both kind of look back on it like we were more friends than anything else.
Yeah.
And it was just two very different people trying to figure things out. But like, I wish I could have a co-parenting relationship with Braden's dad, but I'd probably
we are just much better off as friends. I am very grateful for him because he gave me my beautiful son. He helped make me a mother for the very first time, but we are just completely two different people in a relationship and what I require. And it's always been like that. Like, we're just better off as friends. I know a lot of people.
I respect that a lot because I wish that we could be at that point, and we've tried to be at that point at several different times. But like, I think it's hard when you're the only one having the tough conversation and having to be the responsible one, and the other person doesn't even acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And so I do think that makes it kind of an interesting, like, and realistic. Listen, we're just gonna be honest. This is the year of Cass not giving a fuck. He doesn't care about this child, let alone the other 6 that he conceived. So, I'll take that as a win. Like, at least I'm not an asshole.
Well, that's the other thing too. If they end it so horrendously and then they want to come back without any kind of apology or accountability, it's like, well, let me just forget all about that. We were just young.
I think for me, a big part of it is like, you don't have any recognition that, like, as a parent, I've never had the choice but to step up. And then you want to make very, like, disgusting comments about me as a person, and you always want to go low when I don't do that. And if our child has a negative view about you, it's because of things you've done, not anything I've said, because Kylee will be the first one to tell you. I don't really talk to Brayden about things like that. Like, I let my kid be my kid. He's just the one that's seen it.
Yeah.
And it's just not it's not the center of your personality or your whole world.
Yeah.
You've moved on from that, and like at the end of the day, when your kid's old enough, they're going to and that includes us moms who are there day in and day out. They're all going to form opinions and thoughts on us, on who they think we are, they think that we aren't. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. So for me, it's better the way that things are. And I do think I've always been the kind of person that encourages Braden, that if he would want that I'd be more than happy to open up that channel. But Braden's always been like, I don't need that. I have the people that I have in my life. And Braden's 13 at this point. He's allowed to choose that. There's not a lot of in his life, especially with his medical issues, that he's allowed to have autonomy over.
Yeah.
I think this is one of them. So really quickly before we wrap things up, there were some nods to the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, which is the Disney version. We'll put a link to all of this where you could go, but there were like frog noises where they say like Ichabod and different things that I noticed when watching it this time. The last bit of piece that I thought was very interesting is Christina Ricci revealed on the Rosie O'Donnell show at the time that Christopher Walken was very shy and quiet, so the other cast members had a competition over who could get him to say the most words. Miranda Richardson won that by asking him questions. It is interesting to also note that there are multiple people from Harry Potter that are in this movie together. But Michael Gow was Notary Hardenbrook, and he came out of retirement to play this role and then went back into retirement after it. And he was also Alfred in multiple of Batman's, both the Michael Keaton and I think it was Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, and George Clooney.
There you go.
Yeah. So I know what I'm talking about, Brewster.
No, you're fine. I don't want you to forget George Clooney because of From Dusk Till Dawn. I mean, I don't care about Batman.
Well, also, like, how could you forget George Clooney? Because George Clooney was the one that had like the nipples out on his Batman suit. Do you remember that?
Sadly, yes, I do remember that.
So the last bit of fun thing, Miranda Richardson ad-libbed "Watch Your Head" during filming. They kept it in.
Yeah.
That is great to note because we also have a sticker for Horrorcraft that is on Sarah's Etsy shop that says "Watch Your Head," and it is our horror Barbie collection. So please go check it out. But please let us know what you loved about this movie, what you didn't like about this movie, what your thoughts are, your thoughts on different characters. I just think it is a very deep like dialogue about different forms of trauma and how different forms of those get weaponized. I would highly encourage you to keep watching the rest of our series because we do have Sweeney Todd coming up with a special guest, but we also do have a disclosed one. A lot of people have guessed it so far from certain clues that we've given out, but you'll find out more when we get to that point. There also will be a very unhinged segment following that will be on Patreon of Kylee and I probably having the biggest argument we've ever had, disagreement with each other.
We need a mediator.
Yeah, we need to dial in your sister.
It's literally going to be Louis and Lestat with the lawyers.
Yep,
that's coming up in the new season of The Real Vampire Lestat.
My representation will call your representation. So, but Brewster, thank you for coming on.
Of course, I missed you ladies.
I know you didn't get a word in edgewise.
I got enough in. We're fine. Hey, people don't want to watch me talk on my podcast, so it's fine over here. Don't worry about it.
But Brewster, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on Brewstervision and the Whole Damn Enchilada Pod
with Rick.
With Rick and Bethany.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tune in every Thursday, 7 p.m. Be there, be square.
Yep. And I will be on soon. I don't know if Rick and I are just doing it together, if he's going to make you do it too, but I do know that we have one in the talks for Dracula. So we're going to see how that plays out. I might need to go watch that a couple times. That might be, in fact, where I have to use the bib that you and Kylee so graciously plotted to give me.
I forgot about the bib. That should have been in the Horrorcraft wrap up.
That's one of my favorite reels I made about it. Almost a year ago, I think.
You guys are jerks, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
We love you.
I love you guys too. So go watch Sleepy Hollow. Go check out Brewster on his channel. You will also see me putting up a write-up about Katrina from this movie on there. Go a little bit deeper into my thoughts. But until next time, grab your candelabra and tune in for the rest of the month. So until next time, it's me, Cass, and
Kylee.
And
Brewster.
And we are out. Bye.
Bye.